Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPL Roxas, and today I'll be sharing my Gameweek 11 team selection. The results from Gameweek 10 has provided me with quite a few problems, and that will likely result in a more safer approach for my team in Gameweek 11. As usual, feel free to like and subscribe if you found my video enjoyable. Alright, let's start the team selection video. I've ended Gameweek 10 with 71 points. That results in a small green arrow to 1.7 million. I had a last minute captaincy change from Haaland to Salah, which backfired obviously, but I will take that green arrow even so. I'd say that I got pretty unlucky in Gameweek 10, as Gabriel didn't start and Watkins blanked with a great expected stats in the game. However, I did get some luck as Gabriel didn't play a single minute, which allowed Taylor to sub in for my team with his 6-pointer against Bournemouth. I still think it was a bad Game Week 10 for my team as I made the transfers to bring in Gabriel and Watkins in the hopes that they'd provide points in Game Week 10 specifically. They didn't return, but what's done is done. Most of the team did return, Haaland especially with 2 goals and an assist, which totaled 16 points. Neto getting injured is the main problem for my team at the moment, as I was really looking forward to see him bring his form into the Sheffield fixture in Game Week 11, but that won't be happening now that he's out with hamstring injury. That has made me change my transfer plans for the future. So let's look at a few players that I am considering to bring in for Neto. So these transfers are most likely going to be made in Game Week 12, as I would like to have at least 2 free transfers in that game week. Neto will have to stay on the bench for the time being, but I have chosen a few players that I'm going to consider to replace with Neto. First up is Mitoma. I'd say he's the most nailed Brighton attacker out of the other options, with 0.52 goal involvements per 90 and a nice run of fixtures for the next 3 game weeks in Everton, Sheffield, and Forest. I think he's able to grab a few returns in a time period. For now, he is my current favorite Brighton midfielder option to bring in. Next up is Adingra. He's been starting for Brighton now that Solly March is out injured for the long term. He has started the last 3 games and gotten 1 goal in the time period. His underlying stats are not great, with just 0.26 expected goal involvements per 90. However, he does have the ability to overachieve those stats, as he has 3 goal involvements in just 5 starts in this season. To put it more specifically, that's 3 goal involvements in 5.5 90s, which is pretty good for a cheap Brighton midfielder at just 5 million. Lastly, there is Saka. He is not a Neto replacement, but actually a player that I've wanted to bring in since Game 10. I felt that he was too good not to own with that Sheffield fixture that I even considered a -4 to bring him in last game week. But then I didn't in the end. I intend to bring him in for Game Week 12 instead when the Burnley fixture arrives. So my current plan is to bring in one of the 2 Brighton midfielders to replace Neto, and then bring in Saka with the second free transfer. There is a problem with trying to bring Saka in. If I want to do so, I will have to leave out Mitoma and choose Adingra instead. Adingra is pretty much assured a starting spot now, but I still think Mitoma is likelier to return. But if I were to bring in Mitoma, I would be priced out of Saka. There is a way to bring in Mitoma and Saka, but I will have to transfer out Son to get the extra funds. I don't think that's a good idea. He's Tottenham's top scorer, and I don't think that form will diminish anytime soon. So this is what the team will look like for Game Week 11. For the goalkeeper, I have started Areola against Brentford away from home. West Ham have been looking worse and worse every week. I hope that they can recover their form from this game onwards. With Neto injured, I am forced to bench him and start Taylor for this game week. So now I have a 4-4-2 formation with 4 at the back now. So the backline has Gabriel, Byrne, Cash, and Taylor. Gabriel and Byrne are facing each other, but I'm not too worried about that, as I think they're quite even, and a 0-0 draw is definitely possible. The problem is in Gabriel. Will he start, or will he get benched again, just like last week? All I can do is hope that he plays so that I can get at least a 2-pointer minimum from him. Cash had forced away. He hasn't been getting any attacking returns recently, but I'd already be satisfied if he can get a clean sheet for this game week. Taylor has Palace at home, who have been pretty weak offensively. Maybe Burnley could hold them off again and get a clean sheet. For the midfielders, I've got Salah, Son, Madison, and Bowen. Salah's got Luton away, which looks easy on paper, but the reality might be the opposite. During the 3-0 win last week, Salah was lucky to get a goal through a mistake from Forest. He didn't have any proper chances before that, and he looked like he tends to struggle against teams that deploy a low block. Luton is another one of those teams that do so. Salah could grab a return, but I don't think he's able to grab a haul against him. I hope he proves me wrong though. Son and Madison has Chelsea at home. I'm sure Tottenham can get away with a win against them, judging from the way Spurs have been playing this season and how inconsistent Chelsea has been. They both could grab returns just like last week. Bowen has Brentford away. He scored in every away game this season, and I'd love to see him continue that streak for the Brentford game as well. Lastly, my forwards are Haaland and Watkins. I mentioned in last week's team selection video that Haaland was able to exploit United's weak defense. I had him as my captain until the last minute of the deadline, and I don't even remember why I changed it to Salah. He's got Bournemouth away. Bournemouth at home this game week. I think he's the better captaincy option for this game week. Watkins has Forest away. Last week he had an expected goal of 0.79 and expected assist of 0.61, but then he still blanked. I like to see him get back to returning now. To be honest, I'm not liking how the team looks on paper, especially the backline. But I think this is one of those game weeks where I don't necessarily have to force a transfer. So yeah, my current transfer plan for this game week is just to hold the transfer until gaming 12 and then make the Sakopoulos Brighton midfield transfer next week. One thing to note is that there are midweek Carabao Cup games, so there is a potential for injuries this week. If there were any injuries that occur to any of my starting players, that will force me to change the transfer plan and make the transfer this game week, which I hope does not happen. You guys should also make sure to monitor the Carabao Cup results to find out about which players get rested and then which players had minutes in the Carabao Cup games. That wraps up this week's team selection video. Good luck to everyone for Game Week 11. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to be updated on my latest uploads. I'll be uploading every week, so stay tuned. Leave a comment if you'd like, and thanks for watching the video.